follow, like, subscribe. It's game day, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Birds, Beers, and BS, live on location for the Eagles-Jaguars pregame show here at Doan Distillery in Quakertown. And what a tremendous place here. So if you're in the area, make sure to stop on by the Trolley Barn Market in Quakertown at Doan Distillery. We'll be here right up to kickoff.
Oh, yeah.
Peanut, myself, and everyone here at Doan Distillery. Thank you for everyone for coming out, as we have a tremendous show on tap for you today from Doan Distillery. But I was able to break down the Eagles-Jaguars game just momentarily. But Peanut,
Hey,
look, we have a 3-0 football team, the only undefeated team in all the National Football League. And right now, it's exciting to be a Philadelphia Eagles fan right now.
Yeah, totally exciting. What we're seeing is the shift from what we were last year to this year is 100% different. I'm wondering, like, with the new influx of talent that we have, the young talent that we have, I'm hoping that Hurts can actually keep this up and keep the momentum moving, especially versus the Jaguars today. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I'll say it's not going to be an easy task for the Philadelphia Eagles going up against the 2-1 Jacksonville Jaguars, a surprising 2-1 Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah.
And, of course, it's the return of the one and only Doug Peterson.
Doug Peterson, baby.
The man that brought Philadelphia a Super Bowl, and it's going to be an interesting atmosphere today down at the Link.
Absolutely agree. The man that brought you tears.
The man that brought you tears. The man that brought many Eagles fans tears.
Including myself.
But I'll say, what kind of reception do you think that the Eagles faithful are going to have for Doug Peterson? Because I know hearing the Philadelphia Eagles Nation this past week, it's a lot of mixed reviews. I understand he's a guy that brought us a Super Bowl, but we also have to remember he's also the guy that is no longer with us, and he moved on, and whether he was the problem, whether it was Carson Wentz was the problem, whether Howie Roseman was the problem, it's going to be interesting to see what type of reaction the city of Philadelphia has for him today.
They're going to have to give him a standing ovation, at least in the beginning. You can boo him during the second half or first quarter, second quarter, but we got to give the guy his due. The guy brought us a Super Bowl. He didn't leave on bad terms. He was fired. It's not like Carson Wentz where he opted that he wanted out. So in this situation, I think we give him a standing ovation. Hopefully it's that, because if not, I don't want to feed into that narrative anymore.
During pregame intros, yes. I'll say you give him a standing ovation. You thank him for he did. He brought us our only Super Bowl trophy. Yes. But once that clock starts,
boo him.
He's the enemy. If there's anyone that's cheering on him, take that Eagles green off after that kickoff.
So you're saying as soon as you get the standing ovation, immediately just go with the boos?
Absolutely.
All right.
Look, he's the opposition. He's coming into our house. He's coming into the Link. He called that place home for 3 seasons. But look, he's no longer part of the city of Philadelphia. He's no longer part of the Eagles organization. He is the enemy. And right now, he has a great team on tap right now with Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence is looking really good. The team's looking really good. We'll see. I agree and disagree. I really don't feel like booing him wouldn't do. We're not booing the coach. We're booing the team.
Obviously.
So
You're not booing him per se, but he's part of the visitors now.
He is.
But again, we are broadcasting live from the AT Sports Network pregame show here live at Doan Distillery in Quakertown.
Oh, yeah.
If you are in the area, make sure you get down here. They are doing a special today.
Oh yeah.
The Hurt So Good drink.
I'm drinking it right now.
I'll say, Peter, what's in that?
It's a spicy margarita. It's got great taste to it, and it's got a little bit of a kick to it too. So if you're into spicy things and you're into alcohol like I am, try this drink. The Hurt's so good. It's actually really, really good.
And then they have plenty of other tremendous drinks here at Doan Distillery. How can you speak to that? What type of other flavors?
Well, they actually, this is awesome. They actually gave me a couple samples here, which I will go through. We're going to start with the bourbon cream, which is phenomenal. Anyone that's ever had this drink, I believe my cousin somewhere in the audience here loves this drink. My wife loves this drink. It's one of those drinks that you'll drink that bottle without realizing you drank that whole bottle.
And of course, they have tremendous flavors. And their citrus flavored vodka right here. I have their peach flavor. So definitely want to get down here before kickoff. They have TVs to watch the games.
Oh, yeah.
They're open Thursday through Sunday.
Yep.
So if you're ever looking for a date night, guys' night, bachelorette party, so make sure to come on down here to the Doan Distillery. And
nice spot here. It's a really nice spot.
Absolutely. But look, we have a football game today.
Wait, what?
Exactly, and it's going to be a tremendous matchup. I'll say going into this game, when you looked at the schedule, you thought this was going to be a gimme. You thought this was going to be, look, this is a Jacksonville Jaguars team that's won, a total of 5-6 games over the last 2 seasons.
Different team.
Yeah, we looked at the Doug Peterson returning to Philadelphia, but this is a game that right now, with the way the weather is going, look, the weather's definitely going to be playing a factor to today.
Yeah.
You have windy conditions that are going to, I think, up to 50 miles per hour.
Yep.
You have the rainy conditions that's going to make the ball slippery. You have the cold factor. It's going to be a very sloppy, messy football game out there.
Hey, that's what football is all about. You know what I mean? Football is not like baseball, man. We got to get out there. We got to get dirty. We got to play. And the way this defense is playing, honestly, I feel like this plays into our favor just a little bit. I think Doug Peterson has done a tremendous job turning that organization around. But I'm hoping and I'm praying, especially this game, that we come through and our defense does what it's done for the past 2 weeks, and that's literally shut things down.
We shut things down, but also the Jacksonville Jaguars are a team that have shut things down. They shut out, or they dismantled the Colts and the Chargers. Justin Herbert and the Chargers have a tremendous offense, and they look like, the last 2 weeks they gave up a total, I think, 10 points in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that defense is really
outscoring them 63-10.
Yeah,
this team is no joke right now, and honestly, right now, this game, despite the line of Eagles being a 6.5-point favorite, this could be a trap game.
It kind of has a feel for that, doesn't it? I'm hoping it's not, but you feel like we've been rolling. The team's been doing great, but for some reason this week you get that little knot in your gut, like this could be it. It might be a rock'em sock'em though. Who knows? We'll see what's going to happen. But you're right though. It does have that feel of a trap game, and I'm hoping it doesn't. What do you think?
Look. On paper, right now, the Eagles are the better football team.
On paper.
Look, Jalen Hurts, he's playing up to an MVP type of season through 3 games of the year. He's top 5 in passing. This is an offense that's the number 1 in the National Football League when it comes to yards per game, scoring or putting up over 400 yards every week this season.
Yeah.
This is a team that is explosive with the dynamic of the way the offense has been able to move the football with A.J. Brown 1 week, Devontae Smith last week, Dallas Goedert is performing, and this team is finding ways to win the football game in different fashions. This was a team last year that relied heavily on the run game.
Yeah.
This was a team that we didn't expect Jalen Hurts to perform the way he's performing right now. Yeah. And we just saw what another year, another offseason, and weapons around him, what he is able to do. And right now, this game and this game plan, I see Nick Sirianni it's going to be relying a lot on Jalen Hurts, especially the windy conditions. This favors the Philadelphia Eagles. The way they're able to run the football and find ways to with the amount of bats that they have now. Eagles are a little banged up right now, surprisingly, going into this game. They're without Boston Scott, so we're going to see Trey Sermon, the guy that they signed a couple weeks ago. He's probably going to be on the active game day roster today. Yeah. You have Avonte Maddox,
that's a huge one right there.
That could be the X factor in this football game. Luckily, the wind conditions, I don't know how much of the deep passing game you're going to see. I think both teams are going to rely heavily on the run game.
Well, yeah, I agree with you on that one, and not having Maddox there. Who do you think is going to fill his spot? Do you get CJ,
well, I think you're going to have to use him. Look, behind Avonte Maddox, you have Zach McPherson, who primarily is a guy that they have used on the outside, especially Darius Slay with his back injury right now. Yeah, with his issues there, I think they're going to use him as primarily on the outside rather in the slot. So I think they're going to have to use CJ GJ. Yeah. They have some other guys behind him, but then you have CJ, GJ. That's going to leave you vulnerable in the secondary. They're going to have to put Kayvon Wallace back there, who has only played in 16 or 20 games, started 4 or 5. So the inexperience factor back there in the secondary is kind of concerning to me.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Definitely. Yeah, it's a scary thing, but I don't know. Today's it's going to come down to coaching, defensive scheming. If you have guys that are not in, then Gannon's going to have to step it up and maybe we blitz more. Maybe we do something that's going to offset that so that we don't have to deal with that back end.
Look, last week it was a very encouraging transformation for this Eagles defense last week. The way they were able to get after Carson Wentz and get to the quarterback. That was something that was very concerning going through the first 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah,
that we weren't getting pressure on the quarterback.
No.
And last week they were able to take down Carson Wentz 9 times.
9 times.
Cause various amount of turnovers. So this defense right now is playing at an extremely high level, and the weather conditions once again favors the Philadelphia Eagles.
Agreed. It's gonna be a tough day for the quarterback. So maybe you're right. Maybe they stick to the ground game. Maybe they just run the ball, rock 'em, sock 'em. Or
I think both sides of the ball. You're gonna see a very heavy amount of the run game, especially the Jacksonville Jaguars, they have some great running backs. They do. They have James Robinson, who has eclipsed 100 yards the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
He's a guy that can catch the ball out of the backfield and be that dual threat in the short passing game for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Facts.
And the one concerning thing when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles, especially defensively, even though how well they have played, is the tackling.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's going to tackling. I think with the preseason, the way it's built, I think it's something that they have to get into. So I'm hoping that because we don't have preseasons like we used to, they'll get into form, and hopefully to get into form this game. But you're right. You're absolutely right. If we're going to miss tackles, we're going to lose this game, because that's what it's going to come down to. Not to cut you off, Jeffrey, but I'm going to try the Gunpowder Old-Fashioned right now for the viewers at home. This is Gunpowder Old-Fashioned.
Chug, 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 chug.
No, this is a sipping drink. Holy hell, this is good. This is really good.
I'll say it's peanut approved down here at Doan Distillery. And if you still have time to get down here, we do have some giveaways for you. We have some signed Eagles memorabilia. Doan Distillery was nice enough to donate a $25 gift card to give out to one of our listeners here today. So, look, get it down here. There's still plenty of time. The TVs are on. Pre-games are on. Football is underway. And, look, Doan Distillery is the only place to be on game day.
Absolutely agree. This place is dope.
Absolutely. And, look, this game right now, it's one of those games that you sort of have to come down and win.
We have to win.
I know every game in the National Football League is important, but look, we didn't expect our division to be the way it's panning out through the first quarter of the season.
Yeah. So look, if we lose this game, we're tied basically.
If the Dallas Cowboys win today,
if they win, which I'm sure they will, because Jenna's here.
She's a little drugged out right now. She had nose surgery, so look, I'll say it's approved drugs from the doctor.
Only if she shares.
But yeah, look, this division right now, no one expected the New York Giants, who suffered their first loss this past week on Monday Night Football. You didn't expect the Dallas Cowboys, who lost Dak Prescott,
looking better than they.
Cooper Rush has been tremendous right now for the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. And look, I'll say the Washington Commanders, we dismantled them last week.
Yeah.
But they're still a team that could be a threat. They have the playmakers on that offense to do something in this division. So, look, right now, every game matters right now.
Absolutely.
And they have to stick to their game plan. They have to stick to what's going to be effective. I don't want Nick Sirianni getting too off his horse.
Yeah, don't get too cute, Nick Sirianni. Just give A.J. Brown the ball, run the ball, and that's it. That's how we win the game. But you're right, though. Don't overthink this thing. Go into this game with a game plan. Stick to that game plan. And please, for God's sakes, can we score in the second half for once?
Well, yeah.
That's concerning.
Absolutely. And look, that's the difference between good football teams and great football teams.
Amen to that.
And that's finding ways to keep that train going.
Yeah. Keep the foot on their neck. Like, I feel like the second half has been like, I don't know if it's a play calling thing or what it is, but it seems like we're anemic in that second half. And in a game that's probably going to come down to the wire today, we need to be clicking on all cylinders for all 4 quarters. So we'll see what they map out. And
I think they might be the only team in all the National Football League right now, at least the only undefeated team, to not score in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, we got to change that quick, because some of these games, especially as the season starts to change and it's starting to get colder, we're going to need to grind out some points in the third and fourth quarter. I'm sure Nick Sirianni and the team itself are working on ways to make it happen, but we can't slack on. You can't be up 21 points and just automatically think you're going to win a game in today's NFL. Anything can happen.
Well, I don't think he sort of let off the gas too much. I think it's just the player execution. You saw the amount of penalties. You saw some of those turnovers late in the second and a half.
Right.
That has stalled drives.
Yeah.
And look, good teams, you're going to have your turnovers. You're going to have your mistakes. But it's trying to limit those mistakes is what's going to make your team good or great rather than good.
Agreed. So my question to you is, with Doug Peterson coming back to Philadelphia and this new revamped team, if we win today, does that solidify us as a good team, or do we have to still keep proving?
We have to still keep proving.
Because you can imagine you want to go undefeated. You're going to lose some games. That's going to happen.
The one thing that's very favorable for the Philadelphia Eagles is their schedule.
Yeah.
You look at the schedule until the second half of the season. They have Jacksonville today. They have Arizona next week, which that was a team on the schedule when you got to when they announced it. You're like, look, that could be a tough game. Granted, it's still on the road in a hostile environment in Arizona, but Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals aren't a team that's living up to the preseason hype of being a Super Bowl contender.
Well, he got paid.
And then you have that big pivotal matchup at the Link on Sunday Night Football against the Dallas Cowboys, which who knows who's going to be under center. I understand Dak Prescott got his stitches out from his surgery.
Yeah.
So who knows? He's a guy that said, I can be back in 4 weeks. And he's resilient and determined to come back in a short amount of time to get back on that football field. So we don't know who's going to be under center or what type of quarterback Dak is going to be that day.
Yeah, that's a good point. And say Cooper Rush is just killing it every week. Like, if you're the Dallas Cowboys, do you just take him out, or you know what I mean? Like, you got to go with the hot hand.
You could have a quarterback controversy there in Dallas, unfortunately.
Yeah, buddy.
And then, of course, you have the Steelers, you have the Texans, the Commanders again, the Colts, the Packers, who, they still have Aaron Rodgers. Look, realistically, if this team goes 5, 6, 7, maybe even 8-0, you have to be considered a legitimate Super Bowl contender in this league.
At that point,
I understand there's been times where teams have gone 6, 7-0 and they missed the playoffs. The Denver Broncos, Denver Broncos, for instance. But I feel this team has all the tools to be something great. This was a team that had a lot of mystery entering the season, and we're starting to get those answers. We're starting to have those questions answered.
Absolutely agree with you. Oh, shout out to Partied All Dave. He couldn't make it today. He's feeling a little bit under the weather, so he stayed home.
So a report down at the stadium from some of the reporters. We discussed earlier about Vontae Maddox missing today's game on who would possibly be the slot guy. According to Jeff McLean, it looks like during pregame practice and warm-up that Josiah Scott is at the slot cornerback position, which look, that could be an absolute difference maker right there. Look, Christian Kirk has developed into one of the best slot receivers in all the National Football League. The free agent signing for the Jacksonville Jaguars has developed into a tremendous talent right now. After Arizona was able to find a way to utilize him correctly last year, and the rest of the league saw him, he got paid.
Yeah, he got paid. He got paid, and because of him getting paid, every other receiver in the world got paid. So they're gonna pick on him early too. I guarantee they're gonna pick on him early. So we'll see what he's made.
Well, especially a guy with his big body size and his ability going up against the undersized cornerback like Josiah Scott. It's a mismatch every day. Hopefully, the wind conditions work in the Eagles' favor.
We're gonna need you, God.
Because look, right now the Jacksonville Jaguars, they have the third best tandem in the National Football League right now when it comes to production through 3 weeks. Zay Jones, who is banged up, I would say he is a go today, but he is banged up. They have wide receiver Christian Kirk. They are combined for the third most receiving yards from a tandem. Who you know who number 2 is?
Who's number 2?
Philadelphia Eagles when it comes to A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith.
Schmitty. Yeah, you know what? That's a good. See, everything's clicking on all. You know what? Today's gonna be a good day. I hope.
Well, it better be a good day from Eagles Nation. It better be.
It better be. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, you didn't do the arm thing.
You happy now?
Yeah. There we go. There we go. Dab it.
Pretty much the dab cough. But I just don't want Eagles fans to get too overhyped with this game because, look, the Jacksonville Jaguars, they're not your grandfather's Jacksonville Jaguars. This is a team that has leadership. They have the tools. They have the quarterback. And the National Football League, you need to know how to win. The way to win is through the quarterback position.
Absolutely agree. And Trevor Lawrence he's starting to grow into his own. I wish he would cut his hair though, man. He just looks weird.
He's sunshine. He's sunshine from remember the Titans.
Yeah, remember the Titans. Yo, cut that hair, Trevor Lawrence, man. He you know what? He's one of those guys that I seen coming out of college thinking he was going to be great, and it's well, he went to the Jaguars and they had dysfunction for years. So now it's finally stabilized with Doug Peterson. So it's almost a scary aspect of what he can become now to his full potential. Surrounded with talent, get him some good coaching, and here we are today talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars as a formidable foe. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just saying we're going to roll over these guys.
Look, the Jacksonville Jaguars, I'm not saying are ready to be that. They're not that team that's ready to take that next step, I don't feel. But they're a team that can cause some havoc, and they're a team that can cause some problems. And I feel that today with the conditions that we have, the most important thing for the Philadelphia Eagles, besides winning the game, is coming out healthy. Because, look, these are the type of conditions where that can change your entire season. One major injury, and your team could be in the toilet the rest of the season.
Agreed.
Especially if we lose Jalen Hurts. Do you really trust your boy, Gardner Minshew? Minshew to lead the tribe and lead this team to a championship?
For a couple weeks, I would. I mean, I'm not saying championship or anything like that, but I will be rocking a mustache the next show if he gets – we got to support that guy,
I'm surprised you're not dressing him up for Halloween.
I was thinking about it. I got a surprise lined up for Halloween. You're dressing up for Halloween, right? Come on, man.
Dressed up as an Eagles fan every single freaking day.
Dressed up like a douche.
Pretty much. But
so we have a $25 gift certificate card from Doan that we're going to give away to any. What do you want to do? Like a random pick from the.
So if you, I want to open up to everyone. So anyone that's here, anyone that's online watching the show, make sure I'll say follow Doan Distillery on their Facebook. Follow us on YouTube, whatever. Screenshot it. Send us a screenshot. And if you're here at Doan Distillery, if you have time to get down here, we do have our QR code to follow us. And if you show us that you can follow Doan Distillery on their Facebook, we'll throw you throw into the raffle for that.
Yeah, that goes for anybody and everybody. Especially you. I'm joking. Yeah, it's gonna be one of those games, man. I'm a little nervous. And you're right, with the way the weather is today, it's gonna be a lot of probably Jalen running out of the pocket. And I just don't want to see this team lose to the Jaguars. Like, I just can't fathom this, especially with Doug Peterson coming back. He gets that standing O, and the next thing you know, he's getting the win. So we'll give you the applause. Thank you, Doug Peterson, for the Super Bowl. Now go home. We just whooped your ass. That's what I want.
Now, I know this past week there's already been talks about that there's people within the organization and a lot of higher ups that through 3 weeks. And look, he's been playing tremendous. But has Jalen Hurts earned the right to be called the franchise quarterback? Has he earned the right this early on to be given a long-term contract? Granted, the Eagles cannot give him a long-term contract until after the end of the season in the offseason due to him being under a rookie contract, not a first-round contract. Since he's a second-round contract, he can't enter a contract agreement until the final year of his deal.
That's a really good question. I'm going to say, from what I've seen so far, he's the heart and soul of this team. The teammates love him. He's a great leader, and he's showing on the field that he can make those throws. He can do the things necessary to win a game. So, absolutely, give the guy his due. He's our quarterback from this point forward. Jalen Hurts is our quarterback, and you heard it here first.
So you would give him a huge contract in the offseason?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would.
I need to see more from Jalen Hurts. Look, I'm not trying to be
more
a Hurts hater. I'm not trying to be a Hurts hater.
Oh, my God.
But I want to see him find ways to continue the success. I want to see more than just
you want
3
consistency,
games.
Right?
Consistency. And I want him to show that he can win against good teams. Jalen Hurts has started a total of 16, 18 games, whatever it is.
Right.
And I don't think he's ever beaten a team with a winning record.
Okay.
He hasn't beaten a team this past year or week 2 against the Minnesota Vikings. But he hasn't beaten one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He hasn't beaten Brady. He got dismantled last year in the playoffs.
Right.
He hasn't beaten Aaron Rodgers. He hasn't beaten Russell Wilson. He hasn't beaten these quality quarterbacks in this league until he can show us that he can live up to the hype and succeed against high competition consistently.
Okay.
I want to see more. I want to see more of a sample size. And right now it's trending in the right direction. And Jalen Hurts
never satisfied.
He's starting to win me. Dude, he's starting to win me over. Howie did his job. Howie assembled a roster around Jalen Hurts, and that was the question going to the season.
Right.
Is what can Jalen Hurts do with the correct roster? And if he fell flat on his face, he was not the guy.
Right. And when we started with the preseason, I think one of the questions I asked was like, what is it going to take for you to say he had a successful game? So he's throwing for over 200 yards in each one of those games. He's running for first downs and saving basically drives. I mean, negatives, he's in the second half. It seems like it dies out a little bit. But other than that, man, the guy has all the intangibles you need to be a franchise quarterback. He's a good guy. He's great in the locker room. He's a team leader. He's a captain. He throws.
I'm tired of that crap.
What? You're tired of that?
I want production. I'll say being a team leader is not a good reason to extend the quarterback and make him your franchise guy. Yeah, I'm happy he's a leader. I'm happy that the locker room believes in him. But sorry.
You're all stirred about this.
Sorry, a little chilly here. But I look, intangibles are nice, but I want production. I want results. And right now, this team is 3-0. And because of Jalen Hurts, I will admit, because of Jalen Hurts, this team is looking like a Super Bowl contender.
But we don't want to pay him yet, though.
Not yet. I want to see what happens. Look, if he breaks his leg today.
Okay. All right.
You're not going to pay him that money.
That can happen to any quarterback any given Sunday.
It can. But I'll say the Eagles did get news today. I'll say if you woke up first thing this morning, there was an early game in London between the Minnesota Vikings and those New Orleans Saints. And remember, the Philadelphia Eagles have that first-round pick from the New Orleans Saints as Justin Jefferson walks into the end zone for a late Vikings touchdown to give the Minnesota Vikings a 28-25 victory as the New Orleans Saints fall to 1-2. And right now, granted, there's still plenty of football to play.
Yeah, but it's looking good in our favor.
Look, they're banged up. They have a banged up Jameis Winston. I'll say Michael Thomas is banged up. Alvin Kamara, he might be getting suspended, so who knows? But look, thank you. Look, right now, it would be absolutely incredible if we make the playoffs, have a deep playoff run, and still have a top 10 pick in next year's draft. I'm not trying to look too far ahead, but it's the watching game as an Eagles fan that you look. We have that first round pick. You have to root against the Saints every single week.
Now, imagine if we have our say Jalen Hurts is the guy, and we still have that pick. Imagine how much better you become on any other position that we need. We don't need wide receivers, so you can maybe get some good line.
We might not need a quarterback. That was definitely the question mark going into next season. If Jalen Hurts ain't your guy, what do you do at the quarterback position? Do you go through free agency? Do you draft maybe Bryce Young or one of these young quarterbacks out of the draft if you were able to have an ability to get them? And right now,
we don't need it right now.
We don't need it.
Nah, we don't need it. I'm telling you, like, look, I'm not a Hurts hater, but I was skeptical at first too. But what I've seen the past 3 games was growth. Like he's throwing dimes. He's making the plays that need to be made, and he's making smart plays. Like I said, there's stuff that he can improve on. But other than that, I've seen enough to say, yeah, this is the guy. This is the guy moving forward. You basically just built a whole team around him, and you built the team for this guy. You put his friends as wide receivers, ex-college teammates. You're building the team around this guy, and it's trending to be that he will be the future franchise quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles. No question in my mind.
But I'll say first, they have to get through the Jacksonville Jaguars today, to Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence. And look, that defense right now, for the Jacksonville Jaguars, look, they're no joke.
No,
they have Allen, the pass rusher. They have 2 young linebackers who can make a tremendous impact in the run against the run. Which is something that's going to be interesting to see because look, like we brought up earlier, I feel both teams are going to be focused on the run game. Both teams are going to try to ground and pound and wear out. It's going to be an old-fashioned football game, running game and defense.
Agreed.
And right now, I'd say the Eagles have the advantage, but look, those linebackers with Walker and Devin Lloyd, the two young rookies, they're gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
And last week, that was something that the Eagles offensive fronts kind of struggled against. They struggled against that 3-4 scheme of the protection and trying to open up holes in the run game. Look, Miles Sanders, he's looking good, but I feel Jalen Hurts, he's going to be the X factor in this game with maybe not the ability to pass the football as well as he's done the past couple of weeks due to the weather factor.
But to draw an extra lineman when he starts rolling out,
it's gonna open up the RPO. You're gonna see him at the line of scrimmage and fake the handoff, run off. It's gonna keep the opposing defense with the Jacksonville Jaguars on ease because they're gonna have to. It's basically where's Waldo, where's Jalen Hurts, where is he in that backfield, because he's gonna be the main focal point, and I feel that's gonna open things up for the rest of this team. It's gonna open up things for Miles Sanders. It's gonna open up things for Sermon and Huntley. And look, it's gonna open things up in the short pass game. The one thing that the Philadelphia Eagles definitely have in their favor is they have guys that get yards after the catch with their speed and patching. Exactly. Catching the football, they're going to find ways to pick up first downs and move those chains and establish a rhythm, establish drive, milk that clock, and wear down that Jacksonville Jaguars defense.
Agreed. It's going to be a fun game to watch. To be honest with you, like I said when we started the show, I feel like it could be a trap game, but then again, if it turns out that it's not a trap game, at that point, I mean, I would say, you know what, this team is solid. If we come out with the win today, they've been consistent. The coaching down to the players. So, like my question to you, which I asked earlier, I'm going to double down on you. If they win today's game in flying fashion, are you sold that this team is a Super Bowl contender?
Yeah.
All right, you heard it here.
And look, they have the talent, but also, like we brought up earlier, it's the schedule. Look, they have the easiest schedule as in the National Football League when it comes to their opponent's combined record right now.
Right.
And look, the Eagles, I don't believe they're going to go undefeated. The teams that go undefeated, they never happen. They only happen once in history. You have the New England Patriots who eventually lost in the Super Bowl. They went undefeated in the regular season, but this is a team that we can get excited about.
Absolutely.
Jalen Hurts having an MVP type of season.
Yeah.
They have the playmakers at their disposal. They have a defense that was a question mark going into this year, playing up to par and destroying their opponents. Yeah. They given up. The defense has given up 8 points the last 2 weeks. Technically they had the safety last week, the Commanders, so they gave 6 points They gave up 6 last week, and then they gave up a touchdown the week before against the Vikings. So look, this is an Eagles team that's given up only 15 points in the last 2 weeks, compared to that Week 1 game against the Detroit Lions where we were shaking in our boots.
Yeah, we were shaking in our boots, man. Imagine if we would have lost that Lions game, how different the narrative would be right now for this game itself. So, are the Lions that good, or what do you think?
The Lions are a good football team. That's definitely going to be a game that we're going to look back on.
Yeah.
That the Lions are going to be a team that makes the playoffs, and that we were wrong about them.
Yeah, they look like a good team that day. That's for sure.
I feel the Lions will be one of those teams that gets in one of those wild card games.
Yeah, wild card spot. They're dangerous, man. That offense is dangerous. Goff is looking pretty good, man. He's looking real good. So
Goff, they have Swift, that defensive front with Aiden Hutchinson, the rookie. So look, they definitely have some players for the Detroit Lions there to make a playoff run.
Yeah, absolutely agree. So, what are your predictions for the game today, man?
Man, you're just cutting right into it. I'll say you give me yours. I'll say who you think can be a difference maker for the Eagles. What do you think is going to happen in this game? If you want to give your predictions, go right ahead.
All right, so I'm predicting we're going to win this game. I think we're going to win this game. It's going to be close. I'm going to say 21-17. We're going to win this game. I think the player of the game, honestly, is going to be the running back, Sanders. I think he's going to go off and have a good day. Defensively speaking, I'm going to go. It's got to be Slay. Like at this point, Slay's my guy every week for some stupid reason. But 21-17.
Dude, Slay has been balling out.
Slay's the man.
4 interceptions already on the season.
Yeah.
He's a guy that is with him and Bradbury. Look, this defense has finally had a tandem in the secondary that we can be excited about.
Yeah, absolutely agree. And he's walking with a sort of swagger that I've really never really seen before. Like last year, he kind of had it, but like up until this point, now everyone's wearing Batman capes. So I like that this team is walking with this swagger. And I Slay on my defensive side, Slay on the offensive side. I think we're going to run wild today, and I think Sanders is going to get the bulk of the carries. Hopefully.
Look, I agree with you. The way this weather in this game, the forecast is panning out. It's wet,
nasty.
It's going to be wet, nasty, windy, cold. With 50-mile-per-hour winds, I don't believe that the run or the passing game is going to play much of a factor. So they're going to have to rely heavily on the run game. Yeah. You're going to have to rely on Sanders. You're going to have to rely on Jalen Hurts to be that RPO. I don't want to put him in harm's way, though. That's the one thing I don't want Nick Sirianni to do today. And he's done well through 3 games. He hasn't put his quarterback in harm's way very often. Very rarely you have a design quarterback run. Most of it is the protection breaks down or no one's open and he escapes the pocket and he wants to make a play, which you can't fault him for doing that.
He's just trying to win the game.
And overall, he's been a guy that hasn't put himself on the line. Yeah. He's getting down. He's getting out of bounds. He's sliding. So look, Jalen Hurts he might not be the best quarterback in the league. He might not be a Peyton Manning or an Aaron Rodgers or a Patrick Mahomes.
Well, he's top 5.
But he's definitely a smart quarterback when it comes to his play.
Well, yeah, he's making good decisions, especially, he's trying to make that money, so I don't blame him. But he every box has been checked so far. I mean, the guy's throwing balls the way he's supposed to. He's making smart decisions. The plays at the line of scrimmage have changed because of him. And what was that Smitty touchdown where he changed it and they basically it wasn't even in the playbook or something, or they didn't practice it. Stuff like that is what you need in a quarterback to win games. And if he can do stuff like that on the fly, then this is the guy, man. Come on, this is the guy. Come on, man. Give him his money. The team's already there. Let's build from here. Yeah, he's making smart decisions, and I hope he continues to make smart, because there's a couple bonehead decisions that he makes, like when he runs in for the touchdown, he'll go head first and try to bulldoze you. He's a strong quarterback, but that's stuff that we don't need. Like let your guy give the ball to the guys, let them make the play, and preserve yourself, because we're gonna need you for the next decade. The guy's only 24 years old. You know what I mean? He's 24. I think A.J. Brown's 24, if I'm not mistaken. These are all young guys. We can have
this could be the McNabb T.O. era that we always wanted. Yeah. This could be, look, we have a head coach, hopefully, that we believe in. Yeah. We have, hopefully, the quarterback. We have possibly one of the best wide receiver tandems in the NFL going forward.
Agreed.
We have a young tight end. The issue is when you pay a quarterback, it's going to take away from the rest of your team. And look, a lot of these guys, they're due contracts. Yeah. Miles Sanders is in a contract this year.
Guys too.
Dallas Goedert, I think, is up for a contract very soon. Mm-hmm. I would say, defensively, I would say you're going to have guys. It's going to be a revamped defense. Who knows how long Fletcher Cox is going to be here. Yeah. Brandon Graham's on the tail end of his career, congratulations to Brandon Graham last week for being announced Defensive Player of the Week with his 2.5 sacks on Carson Wentz.
BG's a beast, man. He holds a special place in my heart. If it wasn't for that guy, we wouldn't have won that Super Bowl. So BG, we love you, thank you. But you're right. It's almost like a Super Bowl or bust, because after this year, you're talking about contract after contract after contract. We can't sign everybody. There's no way, especially if we're going to sign Jalen Hurts as our franchise quarterback. So you're right. It's gonna be. Well, you know what though? We do have one of the best guys in the world, Howie Roseman, who you finally came around and started to love. Yeah. Howie, he'll work it. He'll make it happen. I'm not worried. Look, you know what? I'm sorry, Howie.
You have to give Howie some credit. Look, he has, despite the cap hell that we were in for a couple seasons through the COVID years. Yeah. That's the one thing, Howie Roseman, we can criticize him, and he's done some bad contracts. He does. A lot. Some drafts. Every team has done bad contracts. Every team has done bad drafts. Yeah. But the fact that he's able to overcome those later on is the difference between being a good and great GM. Amen. And the Eagles are one of those organizations and one of those franchises that are always consistently in the hunt. They're always a team that you can look at and say, look, they could be dangerous. They're a team that has potential. They're a team that can make possibly that run at a Super Bowl. Yeah, we're not the Detroit Lions who haven't made haven't won a playoff game in over 20 something years. We're not the Cleveland Browns, who are basically a team that might have some preseason expectations that fall flat on their faces at halfway through the year, and they miss the playoffs. This is an organization that is very well ran.
Yeah.
And we can rip Howie Roseman all we want, but you have to give him his props. You have to give him his dues. And he made a ballsy move when he decided to draft Jalen Hurts when you already possibly had a franchise quarterback with Carson Wentz.
Hey,
we knew there's going to be a quarterback controversy, and right now we look to have the better quarterback in Jalen Hurts rather than having Carson Wentz on our roster.
Yep.
And after next year, we don't have to worry about Carson Wentz because he's off the books.
That's right. We don't have to worry. Exactly. When that decision was first made, I remember we were all upset, and it just seems like
it was a shocking
thing. But now that that hindsight's 2020. Now that we can see what's going on, like it was the move to make. Like potentially drafted our future franchise quarterback, and we see how Carson Wentz has been playing. Hey, buddy,
you want to come over, Bevin?
Yeah, come on,
get on camera, buddy.
Come on, buddy.
This kid, he's more famous than the both of us combined.
Yeah, we need some of his subscribers.
Mr. Over almost 4,000 subscribers here on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, want to give a subscription, what's your username, buddy?
My username.
Talk in the mic. What's your username?
My username is British Guy from Plushie AG.
So yeah, give him a follow, British Guy over there.
Thanks, buddy.
You can stay here. You want to stay? You can stay there, buddy.
Word.
But look, this is a team that it's exciting to watch. It's a team that we're gonna have a lot of fun with this season, and hopefully moving forward. And
I mean, all the moves point to us being a good team. So, and we're a young good team. We're not just like we, except for the defense. Maybe the defense, there's some puzzle pieces they could fit in there, but we're trending in the right direction, man. That's why we're excited. This was week 4 now.
Entering week 4.
Yeah, last year wasn't so excited. You know what I mean? We are this year.
But look, final few moments here on Birds, Beers, and BS, the pregame show live from Doan Distillery here on the AAT Sports Network. If you haven't had a chance to get down here, I suggest you do so. Doan Distillery is located in the Trolley Barn Market in Quakertown. They're open till 6 o'clock today. They are doing a tremendous special here today till 6 o'clock. The Hurt's so good.
Yeah, buddy, it was great.
It's
a spicy margarita. I already downed it, so I'm already.
It doesn't take Peanut too long.
Nah, man, it's called Birds, Beers, and BS, man. I bring the beer and the BS. He's the Birds.
And again, they have tremendous product here. I'll say, Peanut, if you want to talk about some of this.
Yeah, this was great. Gunpowder Old-Fashioned. This is the smoothest drink I think I had all night long. I thought it was going to be a little bit of a kicker, but man, I'm definitely going to get a bottle of this before I go home today. Look, they have all kinds of drinks. I'm telling you, the bourbon cream, my cousin doesn't even drink as much, and he drank this whole bottle without even realizing he drank it. So
yeah, Adi.
And these Quaker-Aid drinks, the smoothest. It's not a citrusy. I'm sorry, it's not a seltzer. Like there's no bubbles. It's not a beer. It's not a mixed drink. It's its own little monster, but it's awesome. The Quaker-Aid Peach, which was the strawberry. The strawberry one is my favorite. But come down to Doan. Check this out. Thank you, Jennifer, for having us. Thank you, Doan, for having us. We still have prizes, so if you guys want to win an autographed Eagles Deshaun Jackson poster, PS5 gift card, and then we're going to give out this Doan $25 gift certificate to one of the people. I guess we'll just
I'll say we'll extend that. We'll have that maybe through the night. I will mail it out to you. But it opens up to everyone. So we understand it was a little bit of a last minute show. We only had a little week of pre-promote with the weather. We understand not everyone can get out here today.
Yeah.
But look, I'll say follow Doan Distillery on Facebook.
Please
follow us on YouTube and Facebook as well. Follow, like, subscribe, all our social media platforms, and make sure to support our sponsors, Doan Distillery, here at the Trolley Barn Market in Quakertown.
Word.
So look, I'll say
it's almost game time.
It's almost game time. I know you gave your prediction already. And
what's your prediction?
And I'm in the same favor as you. Look, I believe that the Eagles are the better football team. They're a team that has shown through the 3 weeks that they are legitimately one of the top contenders in this in the league.
Absolutely.
And the way this forecast is panning out, it all points to the Philadelphia Eagles. You have the mobile quarterback. You have the tremendous running game and the depth at the running back position.
Right.
You have the speed at the skilled positions, and you have a defense that's playing at a tremendously high level at this moment.
Yeah.
And look, we're at home. I would say Trevor Lawrence has only won one game on the road his entire career, and that was last week against the Chargers, who lost their tackle. Look, they lose Rashawn Slater for the season, which look. The offensive line, it's not the sexiest position, but it's a very important position.
Agreed.
And when you lose one of your top offensive linemen, Justin Herbert was running for his life.
Yeah.
And look, right now we have one of the best offensive lines of football. Lane Johnson, he's a guy right now that is shutting everyone out. He hasn't given up a sack in almost 2 seasons. Going up against one of the best pass rushers in Allen, that's definitely going to be a matchup to watch for this in today's game.
Agreed.
And of course, it's going to be like you brought before, Miles Sanders and Huntley and Sermon out there pounding the rock and hopefully establishing a rhythm, establishing a run game, and wearing down the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't see it as a high-scoring game. I understand this is a team that lives off the big plays and lives off scoring a lot of points.
Yeah.
I just hope they can establish this for 4 quarters. That's the one downside to this team right now is they are not maintaining that success in the second half. The last 2 weeks, they have been shut out in the second half.
Which is concerning.
That's very concerning. I think they only scored a total of 14 points in the second half through 3 games.
Yeah.
And look, good football teams against the better football teams, you can't have that. You can't play that type of football.
Now we got to play 4 quarters.
You have to keep that train going for 4 quarters.
Keep that train going for 4 quarters.
But I do expect the Philadelphia Eagles to win this one in a tight slugfest. I'll say 17-10.
Okay.
Philadelphia Eagles win this one. The prove to 4-0 heading into next week's game on the road against the Arizona Cardinals. 4:25 start.
Sounds solid to me.
So look, before we get out here again, thank you to Doan Distillery for having us. And before we get out here, I want everyone to give us a huge EAGLES chant. We'll lead it off. You ready?
Let's go.
EAGLES Eagles. That was pathetic. And then every show here on Birds, Beers, and BS, drink him if you got him.
I got him.
Especially peanut.
I got him.
Thank you, everyone.